Hey folks, welcome back. I'm going to get right into it. A lot of stuff going on. As we know, yesterday, the House passed, what is it, a $4 trillion budget, and it looks like the debt ceiling isn't going to exist for the next couple of years. That's mind-boggling in itself. You got to figure what's going on. I mean, really, what's going on? How is it that we can't seem, we being conservative Republicans, Christians, people who are wanting Kevin McCarthy to stand up to this craziness that's going on, why doesn't it happen? Well, and that's going to be the big question, right? Why isn't it happening? Why is it that we keep failing? And it's because the deep state is still there. The deep state, look, McCarthy is a career politician, comes out of Northern California. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's a California boy. I mean, even a California Republican, so-called conservative, if you're out, if you're somewhere like in Oklahoma or Wyoming or Tennessee, large parts of Texas, that'd be like more of a conservative Democrat, is really what that is. So we've got to understand that we're not dealing with a warrior for conservative values. So this is going to be very interesting to see the way this plays out. The amount of money that 35 trillion, 36 trillion within the next probably 5 to 10 years, at the max 10 years, we'll be at 50 trillion. It's just outrageous. It's $100,000 per a citizen, from little babies to a 100-year-old. For every citizen's $100,000 that's owed on the debt. I mean, look, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but please understand, you're not off when you think that we're at war. We are at war. We have been infiltrated. It's been for a very, very long time. And we're going to really have to pressure the elected officials that call themselves Republicans over these next 2 years, nonstop. You can't fall back and wait. You can't give up and say it's not going to matter. It is going to matter. It does matter. Reach out to your representative, no matter who, senator, state, local representative, your local mayor, your city council, all of them. Let them know how you feel. And that's just what has to be done. In the 2024 election that's coming up, this is going to get very interesting. And we're going to talk about it more in the show. We got the studio opened up. This Sunday will be our first full-blown broadcast out of there, it looks like. So you can stay tuned. Typically going to be an hour broadcast, and then we're going to break it up in different snippets so you can kind of digest it all in 1 hour, or you can take it in small bunches. But another thing I want to talk about is the invasion that's happening at the border. The invasion of 20-something-year-old men that don't speak Mexican Spanish, from Mexico. They don't speak Spanish, and they don't speak English. And they're from all over other parts of the world. Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, God knows. But they're all fighting age. And there's thousands and thousands and really hundreds of thousands of them that are being imported into the United States. Fighting age. Who are these people? Where are they going? And why are we letting them in? These aren't families with little kids that we all, pull on our heartstrings. That good people don't want little kids to be suffering in the desert. But these are not those people. These are people that you could get to fight against the American citizen. The CCP, as you know, is that secret police forces in the United States. The CCP is teamed up with Russia and the BRICS nations to push against the United States of America. We all know about that. We've talked about that. These people, the enemy of the United States and the enemy within, those of us who've took an oath to protect this country against foreign and domestic, We are being attacked by both right now. So we have to know where these people are going. These 20-something-year-old men, they're all of fighting age, and they come from countries that aren't our friend. And they speak no English. So where are they going? How are they making money? Who are they communicating with? And who are they going to fight against eventually? I believe there is a very, very good possibility that there is an internal military structure being built by our enemy in this country. That is your goal. Their goal is to have enough people, young men, who can fight against the American citizen in an uprising. Okay? And that's not black helicopter stuff. That definitely can happen. Because you got to use critical thinking and deductive reasoning, folks, to figure out what is going on. You got to run it through a filter. They got to slow it down and go, what's really going on here? As we pressure American citizens not be able to have guns, and we pressure American citizens not to be able to have magazines that over 6, 8, or 10 rounds in it, eliminating or reducing the capability of the American citizen to defend themselves against people, foreign and domestic. And if those people that are coming from foreign countries come in the United States, now they become domestic. Follow that. They become domestic. They do not have to be American citizens to be a domestic threat. That's just a fact. And I have a suspicion that this is what's happening in this country right now. We got a lot of things to distract us. Lots and lots of stuff going on. Things that it's hard to survive. It's hard for the average American to pay their bills. Interest rates are up really high. Housing is down. Rentals way up. A movement that the average American never owns a home again. Okay, don't own cars. Move to all electric. Get away from fossil fuels, which is $100+ trillion worth of capital that the American citizen owns. All these things are part of the death of 1,000 cuts. Because remember, folks, the enemy is using Sun Tzu's Art of War, the Communist Manifesto, and Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, and basically have put all those together. And they have formulated a plan, and it just didn't start, folks. This has been going on for at least a decade and a half to 2 decades, at least. It really has. This is the long game. And they've infiltrated our school systems. They've infiltrated our judicial system. They've infiltrated our legislative body. They've infiltrated everywhere in this country, and now they want in your home. And the way they've done that is going after your children, right? This woke generation, this craziness, that the confusion. Remember, the devil's the great confuser, the great liar. He's a master at it. So know that we have got to make sure that we don't take the eye off the ball. And right now, with these young 20-something-year-old men coming in from all over the world, there's a very good possibility that there could be an uprise within these groups against you and me. What are they doing here? What job are they going to do? Who paid for them to come over here? How'd they get from these foreign places to here? And they don't have, it's not like they've got these backpacks with them or wagons, or it isn't like Go West, young man, back in the day, and you're bringing all your stuff with you or everything you can pack. These people are walking across with nothing. They're just walking across. Maybe a backpack, maybe. What are they doing in the United States of America, folks? And why are the political leaders who took an oath to uphold the Constitution of this country, and the biggest thing, definitely top 3 for sure, that they're supposed to do is defend the sovereignty of this country? Because the fact is, if there's no sovereignty, if there's no border, and you should not need a wall to defend your border, but now we have to. There's no way that we're going to be able to hold back this tide, this growing tide of illegal people coming here, purposely being driven here by the enemy. Wait till it's millions, by the way, folks. Forget the 10,000 here, 10,000 there, 100,000 here, and Mexico stops them. And oh my gosh, they weren't able to get through all the way. But make no mistake, folks. One day it's going to be 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, 2.5 million, 5 million people. We have got to be able to hold back the tide. That wave of illegal activity. And the wall is just a stopgap. A wall is a way of slowing down that migration. Okay? But it's going to take more than a wall, folks. It's going to take determination of the American citizen to get focused and engaged with the political leaders, to get true liberty-minded, constitutional, oath-taking American citizens who get into office to defend this country. Because make no mistake, folk, we are at war. World War III has begun. We're in the middle of it right now. The electrification of automobiles is another part of that. And I'm not going to go into that right now, but I'm going to do I might do a whole show on it coming up here. But I'm definitely going to spend a lot of time on what's going on with our electric grid, solar, thermal, geothermal, wind generation, all these boondoggles. We have got to understand why it's happening. Okay? And by the way, I will say this quickly. I'm not against what we call clean energy or these new, what I call next generation or next technological leap. I'm not. But we have to do it smart. Okay? And going into debt to do it makes no sense. Not when we have $100+ trillion worth of liquid gold under our feet that we can use and to help pay for that. Well, folks, I just wanted to get out there, just talk to you a little bit today. Big thing, obviously keep an eye on the ball, reach out to your legislative body, the people in your local city, state. You got to show up. You got to at least send them an email, get on the phone, leave them a voicemail. It does work, folks. I promise you it works. Get engaged in your city council, get engaged with your local school board, get engaged. All right? The border issue, same thing. A lot of stuff going on. We'll see you soon. God bless, folks.